ChatGPT can be added to Discord. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can do this. And there's lots of opportunity here. I've already had so much fun interacting with it myself, either on my computer or even just on my mobile phone, typing in prompts whenever I want, as well as my community members having a lot of fun just chatting to it. I'll structure this video in 3 parts. First, we'll set up Node.js to interact with Discord and OpenAI and its API. Second, we'll set up Discord with the bot so that it can engage with community members. And third, we'll connect the two. I don't have any sponsors, so I'm going to sponsor myself in this video. I've built out this entire chatbot so you guys can download and use at any point. I built out additional features as well, and I'm going to list it on Gumroad for $49. If you want to save yourself some time and try it out, then you can do so at the link in the description below. And with that said and done, let's begin. I'll create a new folder called ChatGPT Discord Chatbot. Then I'm going to initialize a new project by running npm init-y. This will create the package.json. Here I've got all my modules installed, or at least I will in a second. I'm going to install 3 packages. I'm going to run npm install. I'm going to install discord.js, OpenAI, and .env. Next, I'll create the file .env as well as index.js, which is where our server and configuration will lie. Finally, I'll check that I'm running the latest Node version, which should be version 18, as well as my npm version, which currently is version 8.8. Now, assuming you have Discord installed, go to the server section and create a new server for yourself or for your community. I'm going to call this server the ChatGPT Discord Chatbot, which is essentially what we're making. Once this is done, I'm going to open up Chrome and head to a special URL called discord.com/developers/applications. I'm going to create a new application. This application, I'm going to give the name ChatGPT Discord Chatbot and select to apply the terms and conditions. This new application now can be customized. The first thing I want to do is update the avatar. I want an avatar here that represents ChatGPT. I created this earlier in Figma. Next, I want to create a bot for this application. I'm going to select bot on the left-hand side, and I'm going to select to add a bot on the right side. When I add a bot, I do need to give it a name, and you can't have the word Discord inside of your bot name. So I do need to go back in my general information and change the name for this application to remove that word Discord. Once I've done that, I can go back and save my changes and then select to create the bot once more. I've successfully created my bot. I do need the security token in order to use it properly. I'm going to reset this token and capture the new token so I can start using it. What I'll do is reset the token here, and then I'm going to do 2-factor authentication. And then once I've done that, I can grab this token and I can paste it inside of VS Code. So I'm going to open up the VS Code project on the .env file, and I'm going to create a new variable here. This variable will be Discord_token, and I'm going to paste the value here for that token. I also want to create a few other placeholder values here, the OpenAI Authorization and the OpenAI Key for the API key. With that done, I want to scroll down to privileges for the gateway intents, and I want to enable message content intent. This allows the bot to receive message content in most messages and then reply to it later on. After saving those changes, I just need to authenticate the bot. I'm going to head to OAuth2 and I'm going to update the default authorization link. Here, I'm going to select the option custom URL and I'm going to paste the following URL in, which is discord.com/auth2 authorize with a scope, permissions, and client ID. Here, the client ID I'm going to grab from my client information and just place that in. Then I can copy that entire link. I can open that up in Chrome, and I should be able to now authorize my own bot to run in my own server. I'm also going to give this bot permissions as an administrator, and this will allow it to do different things like application commands if I want to add those later. Finally, I verify that I myself am not a bot, and now if I visit the channel, I'll see that ChatGPT bot has appeared, has joined the channel, but is currently in an offline state. It's now time to create the Node.js server that will interact with the Discord bot. I'm going to head to my index.js file, and I'm going to explain what I'm doing so GitHub Copilot can better do it. Here, I'm going to create a Discord bot using the OpenAI API that interacts with the Discord server. First, I'm going to require .env. This will allow me to use the .env file inside of my server. Now, I want to configure Discord to be used as part of this bot. I'm going to pull out 2 values. I'm going to pull out client as well as gateway intent bits from the discord.js module, which I will require afterwards. To initialize the client, I'm going to const client equals new client here as a class, and I'm going to pass in the intents that I want to use. For the intents, I'm going to have an array here, and I'm going to pass in the following, which is gateway intent bits .guilds, .guild messages, and .message content. Now I'm going to move on to the OpenAI configuration for the API. This is the most up-to-date configuration. So I'm going to const and I'm going to pull out the values of configuration as well as OpenAI API. And these I'm going to require from the new package OpenAI. I'm going to initialize the configuration by calling in const configuration equals new configuration with capital C. I'm going to pass in the organization, which I'm going to pull out from the environmental key that I earlier set, as well as the API key, which I'm also going to pull out of the environmental key. I can now use this configuration to create a connection to OpenAI and its API. Here I'm going to const out OpenAI equals new OpenAI API and pass in the configuration. Moving on to Discord. I'm going to use their Discord command, client.onMessageCreate. This will be an async function that will be pulling out the message from the messages that come from Discord users. For this, I want to do a try-catch loop so that in case there are any errors, I can log them out. Here, if I catch an error, I'm just going to console log it. And now I want to do a ping pong message where if a user sends a message, I get the bot to essentially say the message back to me. Firstly, I'll console out a message a user sends by doing console log message.content. Then I'm going to do a reply of the same content. In the reply, I'll say you said with the message content itself. And now we can connect this bot to the Discord server. This is the easy part. I'll call client.login and pass in the environmental key for the Discord token. I might as well also console log that the ChatGPT bot is now online on Discord so that I know once I start the server. Since I don't have my API keys from OpenAI yet, I'll just comment out that bit of code to test out this message create code. I'm going to run the server by calling node index.js, and it should tell me that it's working when I get the ChatGPT bot is online. I can now check this. Let me go into Discord and see. And there it is. We've got the ChatGPT chatbot up and running. It's got the green circle. And here, if I test out a message saying something like, "Hi ChatGPT, how are you there?" Hopefully I get a response of a ping pong message. And yes, it continuously is pinging even itself. So I better quickly cancel that Discord server. And I'm going to fix that up. I want the bot to ignore messages from itself. So I'm going to pass in if the message.author.bot is, well, essentially a bot, or it's true, then it just returns this function so that it doesn't continue onto the second or additional lines. Making sure that the bot doesn't respond to itself or other bots can be a good practice to have in making any type of Discord bot. Now I'll relaunch the server. It should be now online and I'm going to give it a test. Let's hope that this works now and I should get a single reply, which I have without any additional ping pongs. Next, I'm going to head over to the OpenAI website. I'm going to log into their dashboard and I'm going to pull out the API key and the organization key. I'm going to head to the top right and select a view API keys. And here I'm going to generate a new secret key, which I'll dispose of later after this video. I'm going to head back to VS Code and I'm going to head over to the .env file and paste it here under OpenAI_key. I also need the organization ID, so I'm going to head over to settings and I'm going to head to the organization ID over here and copy and paste that and also place it into the VS Code file here under the variable OpenAI_org. After that, I'm going to head back to my index.js file and I'm going to uncomment this OpenAI configuration. With all the keys and organization set, this is now ready for use. So I can remove this console log as well as this message and start crafting a new one. I'll begin with const GPT response. And here I'm going to await a response from OpenAI after I do a create completion. This completion will be an object and I'm going to pass in a few values here. I want to pass in the model I'll be using. In this case, I'm going to use the model DaVinci. The next item is to pass in a prompt. The prompt is the more important part, so I'll fill this in with a blank string for the time being and get back to it. Max tokens will be set to 100, and I'm also going to pass in a stop sequence, so whenever the word ChatGPT or my name pops up, the AI will stop writing more content. Finally, I always like to put in a temperature, and this is basically how random the AI is, with a value of 1 being quite random. Now, to fill out the prompt, I'm going to pass in ChatGPT is a friendly chatbot. This explains to the AI what it's doing. Next, I want to give it a few examples of how it's interacting. I'll start off with a basic message here from myself, or actually maybe from the chatbot itself. I'll pass in here ChatGPT and then a message such as, "Hello, how are you?" The response will then be from either myself or actually even just from a member from the Discord channel. So in this case, I can pass in the message.author.username, which in this case will be Adrian if I'm sending a message on Discord, with the message content being the value message.content. Then I'm going to break the line. I'm finally going to finish off this prompt with a ChatGPT as well as a blank item here. So this is where it begins its response. Next, I'll update the message reply. The message reply will be coming from ChatGPT as a bot, so all I need to put here is the response that we get back from OpenAI. Here I'll pass in GPT response.data.choices index0.text, and that is it. I can now do a return because this is now ready for use. In the terminal, I'm going to run Node.js by calling node space index.js. This will start the chatbot, and I can jump back into Discord to test it out. So, the moment of truth. Let me ask a question here about web design and see if it comes back with a response. And success, looks like it's working. It's taken in the message and the content and is replied with a message that is related to that, and specifically to me as well. This means that I should be able to continuously ask questions like, "Are you a chatbot?" and I should continuously get responses. This is just the beginning of what ChatGPT can do as a Discord bot. I've put together a package that you guys can check out in the link in the description below. It's going to be additional features and you can continue to build it out yourself as well. Otherwise, don't forget to like the video and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.